The following is rated TV MA and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Okay, what's up, my people? I'm live. Okay, I'm live. So welcome back to another edition of Transformative Tuesday here on Talk Radio. I'm Jonathan Riehle, and tonight we've got something special lined up for you. If you're looking for inspiration, passion, and a fresh perspective on music, you're in the right place. But first, it is March 25th, 2025. I almost said May 25th. I'm jumping into the future here. We've gone through 7,257,600 seconds this year so far, which is 120,960 minutes. That's 2,160 hours, 84 days, 12 weeks, and overall we've completed 23.01% of the year. So if you're feeling like it's time for change, growth, or just a bit of inspiration to kick off your journey, tonight's episode is for you. Tonight I'm bringing you a pre-recorded interview with two incredibly talented artists, Corinna and Isabelle Cott, the powerhouse twin sisters behind Our Truth. Their music is more than just sound, it's a movement. They blend raw emotion, powerful storytelling, and a fearless approach to self-expression. We'll talk about their journey, their vision, and what's next for them in the music world. I like the way this was written. So whether you're tuning in from your car, if you're watching this from your car, don't be driving, please, your couch, or sneaking in a listen at work, get ready for an insightful conversation. It just might change the way you see music and life. Without further ado, is my interview with Our Truth on Talk Radio. But be warned, there's like a terrible echo. You can like hear the echo, and it's like horrendous. I gotta like invest in some headphones or something to make these interviews more comfortable for them, the people doing the interview, and myself, so that it works better. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just horrible to be like hearing the echo so horribly. And this one's kind of bad, but I mean, it's manageable, I guess. It's gonna have to be manageable. Hopefully the live stream continues to go for the entire time. I've had a few times where my live stream just cut halfway through or something on YouTube. So we'll see. If it messes up too much, I'll just have to do like a put together the opening being pre-recorded, the ending being pre-recorded, and then just throw in the interview as well. But hopefully it'll stay going. So here's the interview. And remember, warning, pretty good echo going on. So you'll have to kind of listen really well. And I apologize immensely. I'll have to get some earphones. You know. It'll get better. I promise. I promise y'all. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so hello, Corinna and Isabelle. Super excited to have you on Talk Radio. For those who might not be familiar, can you tell us a little bit about Our Truth music and how it all started?
So Isabel and I are twins, and we started to sing from very young on. And Our Truth actually started 7 years ago, after we were in a different band and came to a point of having to separate. And in the separation phase, it was all about truth. We were saying, that's your truth, it's our truth, your truth, our truth. And so we came to Our Truth because we realized or feel that life itself is, truth is very individual. There is one truth I believe that we all share, which I believe that life is love. That is the truth. Otherwise, we have, even for Isabel and I being twins, we have very different ways of looking at life. But we have that Our Truth in common for sure. Life is love. So we have been singing from little on, and Our Truth is basically there to help remind us all to go back to authenticity. Because I think we were misguided, and a lot of us humans were following other people's ideas instead of following the heart.
Yeah.
And so musically and even through communication, we really enjoy bringing back that that truth, that the individual has their own. And it's really nice to be able to follow ourselves. As long as we keep in mind that we're all here together and it's not about hurting or abusing or taking advantage of people, you know. As long as we don't do that, I think we can do anything.
Good way to think about things. So, your twin sisters, have you always been in sync musically, or did it take time to find your groove together?
Have we been singing? No. When we were younger, I was a huge fan, Corinna. I was a huge fan of Olivia Newton-John and then Kate Bush, while Isabel was listening to.
Yeah, I just interrupt her to say, and I speak for myself because my sister often speaks for me. She was listening to The Girls, and I was listening to The Cure at that time. I think to The Cure and what Rage Against the Machine. I had a phase of listening to that, and David Bowie came later. I was more listening to the male voices, and she was listening to the female voices. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody's got to have their own taste,
Thank God. We are.
I grew up listening to just a variety of everything: country, rock and roll, rap, everything.
Oh yeah.
So
we grew up. We grew up listening to a lot of stuff, but not country and not rap and not.
Our parents listened to a lot of 60s music, 60s music, and classical music, even without singing, with opera and Motown, which is also 60s, really. And then contemporary things on the radio. Yeah, no, Deutsche Welle.
And let's see, the next one that I have, you kind of touched on, but the name Our Truth Music is intriguing. And what's the story behind it? What truth are you hoping to share? Which you kind of already touched on, but it was kind of a question there.
Corinna told you why we are called Our Truth, because it's an individual thing. But I would also say, add to it, that we are speaking our truth. What we had to learn a lot of things. We had to overcome a lot of things on our journey, separate from each other, and then together overcome patterns that were, overcome behaviors that are not supporting if we are searching for happiness, which we were always, for this loving relationship with each other and the world, and being able to be happy in the world. And so we are speaking about those things. Our truth is not just music and the words that we channel when we write the music, but it's also the communication part. It's talking about what we learned on our journeys of coming to a brighter place where we can actually really love life, and we are no longer victim to our circumstances, to what we experience, but we realize that we have a lot of power in what we are creating.
And you both sound like you have a little bit of an accent. So did you grow up in Germany and move to the States, or, so how long have you lived in the States?
I've been in America for.
I've been 22, so
32. 10 years longer than Isabel.
That's cool. I've been in America my whole life, so I'm ready to get out of America and go try another country and check it out. Germany, Ireland, my two little dream vacations.
I totally believe that you will make it happen.
I'm hoping before I get too old and can't do it anymore.
That doesn't exist. I think one of the things that stops us from reaching our goals is believing that we can't reach our goals.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Jonathan. If you want to make it happen, you will. Yes.
Thank you. Everybody says that to me, and I'm like, we'll see. I'm trying here.
Oh, wait a minute. If everybody says it to you, and you say, we'll see, then even though you say that you want to go, something about you doesn't believe it. Yep.
Well,
Sounds like it.
there's fear there too, because I fear water, and if I'm flying over an ocean to go to another country, I'm gonna be scared to death. Like, don't crash and have me drown. Come on now.
Oh, but you know there's more accidents in cars than in airplanes, right?
Oh,
You're
I
actually
know.
safer in an airplane than you are in a car.
Yeah. It's just funny because my brain just goes into, oh, there's an ocean underneath. Uh-huh.
Well,
So,
then better watch some movies. There's so much nice entertainment on it. Don't think about it.
Or some
yeah,
people, you have a little glass of wine and you take a nap, and then hopefully you wake up and boom, you're already there.
that's probably what I'd do. I'd probably fall asleep and take a nap and be like, hopefully I make it there.
You will.
And I bet you will, yeah.
Let's see. If someone was hearing your music for the first time, how would you describe your style?
That's such a great question.
It's a beautiful question, and yes, we have been asked before what's our style, of course, and it's a little bit tricky. We have been compared to all kinds of different bands, from what can you think of Beatles and ABBA, and can you think of something else? The
Certainly the
Cranberries.
Banshees even I've heard before, but wait, that wasn't actually. Wait a minute, that
It's we sing with a lot of harmonies, and it's probably in the category of somewhat pop music, I guess, musically, because it's not hard rock. I mean, I can tell you what it's not. If sound-wise, it's not rock music. It's not punk. It's not metal. It's not reggae. So it's probably in the direction of pop. Maybe also folk. Maybe I don't know. It's not folk. No, it depends on the instruments we're using, because we're using piano sound and string sounds and bass and drums. That would go more in the pop sound, I would think.
I don't know, was that an answer?
Oh, in that same frame, who are some of your biggest influences in music?
I don't.
Well, I think voice. No, I don't know if I'm influenced musically, but I'm influenced vocally. I do think that Olivia Newton-John influenced me a lot when I was younger, and then Kate Bush influenced me a lot. Although I don't really sing in that way. I've never even written in that way that Kate does it. Isabel wrote one song that reminds me of Kate Bush.
And I was not listening to Kate Bush. I think probably we are influenced by all the music that we heard, but most touched, I can say, I am by the string instruments. So the orchestration is really touching to me. It really gets into my heart. And the drums, because we're dancers, we like the beat stuff, right? Corinna even more intensely than me, right? Beats and beat and bass.
Yeah, and when you say instrument, I'm thinking that's true. Soundtrack music scores, that actually is a very big influence on how we write.
So we
It's
have
the
a lot of,
music.
exactly, we have a lot of orchestra and orchestration, string sounds in there. Yeah.
So do you two write together, or is it like you write separately and kind of come together to sing or do your stuff?
We actually mostly write separately.
We have written some songs together. In the beginning, when we started being that Corinna and I became a band, just the two of us, we started to write together. And then, but the writing together was rarely that we sit together and write. It's more like she does a part and then I do a part of the song. And then at some point we started to write separately from each other. And then we started to really even add harmonies, like where the other one doesn't have much space to add much more to it. Maybe there's a tiny little bit of a thing here and there, but the majority of them we have our own songs.
Yeah, and then during in the performance, we support each other's songs basically.
Because we have harmony.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool because, like, if you guys collab and work on music, but then you do your separate stuff, you got two different styles kind of, blending together when you write together. If you write different type of music anyways. What's one of the most random or unexpected places you've ever gotten inspiration for a song?
We don't get inspiration. I mean, I can say for myself, Isabelle speaking, I don't necessarily get inspired for a song. It's more like I feel that I hear a song
your head.
I can feel that there is a song coming,
Yeah.
and then I push record. And I have recently I was working on a song, and I knew I had to write a bridge. I wanted to write a bridge. I didn't have to. And I just took the microphone in front of my face and started singing. And that's now the bridge.
Yeah, well, I know
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
great.
people have different ways of writing, so
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is, I think, I feel very blessed that, and I know Isabel and I have that in common, that melodies and words, they just come. They come through, and it can be that I'm driving in a car, or that I'm doing the dishes, or I'm taking a bath, or um, taking a walk. It doesn't matter where I am. There might be a song coming through, and that's how all of them happen. Or I feel like, oh, there's a song in me, and I don't know what this is, and it might be like 3 days later that I'll sit at the keyboard and I'll say, okay, come on, what is it? And then something comes.
We have been inspired. There were a few songs that we wrote specifically for a musical that we wrote. So we knew that we took songs that we had already written into the musical, and then there were a few scenes that needed songs, and then we specifically, right? But we did that. That was like really on the spot as well, where we write where the words were there first.
The words were there, they also just came through, and then I said, Isabel, I don't have any, this is not a song, I just have the words. And she's like, let me see it. She just started singing.
I read, and it means like I'm reading the lyrics, and instead of speaking them, I just sing them. Yeah.
well, do you guys ever have like creative disagreements? Like when you're trying to
Yes,
write
That's why we started to write separately.
Yes, we do, and that's why when we do write separately, we say, whoever started the song has the say. So,
No, whoever song, it's not that you started, that's your song. So I can say, I don't like that part, but you don't have to take it, kind of thing.
and while you're asking that, I like to share the story that once Isabel showed me something, and I'm like, I don't like it. She's like, too bad, because I channeled it and I'm doing it. And this has become, and it happened actually kind of quickly, became one of my favorite songs she's ever written thus far. So I'm very grateful that she didn't listen to me, because the song wouldn't exist as it does, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you guys can work through your disagreements and just kind of go off and write your own stuff.
Yeah, working through that took a long time. We come from a background where harmonious work did not work so well, but we've come a long way. I think we're doing quite well.
Yeah.
A journey to harmony.
Is there a particular song of yours that means the most to you? Like you just said, the one your sister wrote kind of, means the most to you.
Yeah, from her, that does mean the most to me. Only because it's the one that reminds me of Kate Bush.
Yeah.
From me, no. I always feel like once I'm writing, I think, ooh, this is the best song I ever wrote. And then it consistently happens that way, so none of them are.
They're all special in their own way. I think there are some songs that I like more than others. The majority of the time, though, I like more than I dislike. And as for, I have some favorites from Corinna. I don't really have favorites for me because they're depending on my mood.
Funny enough, the favorites that Isabel has of these are the ones that I don't really care about. Thank God somebody
Somebody has
Okay, next one. Every artist has that wow moment in their journey, the one that made them think, this is really happening. Have you had that moment yet?
I remember that we that was not as our band, but we were singing at a when we stood on stage. It was a thousand people theater, and it was 1,000 people in front of us for the second time in our lives. However, we had orchestra pieces behind us and string sections behind us, and that was very close to something I always wanted. To become part of these string instruments, because it's almost overpowering
to perform with
the power of those the energy that these instruments send out that I can feel. It's really, that was very wow. It wasn't the thousand, finally it wasn't the thousand people in front of me. Actually, I remember looking at it thinking, that's not that much. But it's the power of the instruments that felt very wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me in general, I have to say it's very easy for me to say wow. I am very easily in awe because life is quite magical to me. I think I look around and I don't know, it just can happen so easily that I'm totally in love with what is happening to me at that moment.
I mean, wow can also come from writing a song that I totally love at that moment. Like, oh my God, I love it so much.
Uh, well, the music industry is a wild ride, especially for independent artists. What's been the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Don't give up. Whatever happens, however it looks, keep going. We're still doing it.
Yeah, and listen to the heart more than the outside forces.
And don't stray from
And
your
your
truth.
truth. Yeah, and people, when it comes to music, it's so individually experienced. And as I said with my example of telling Isabel to change her song, that can happen to us. But I think as this story proves to me, in the end, we need to listen to our own authentic voice and not anyone on the outside. Because even with other musicians and their stories, it's often enough that I heard somebody stood up for what they really felt in their heart, and then it became something really major. So I do think it's really important to be authentic.
I also feel like when we are really true to ourselves, we can't be a greater gift present to our environment, because that's really the most beautiful present we can give each other, the truth, the true us, the individual. I really believe that. Then this whole puzzle, from a higher perspective, with all these puzzle pieces, it can become a really beautiful puzzle when everybody is true, because then it's a win-win.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Well, so you guys are in the music industry. I'm trying to work and getting a business going for entertainment, just video and TV shows and stuff like that, and trying to build my future and trying to keep my hope up for it. I'm still starting out and trying to get it going. So it's kind of a goal of mine to make videos and stuff like that on YouTube for now, and then branch out to TV and whatnot. So I have my goal. It's just trying to fight for them.
But see, you're not trying, you're doing. You're doing it. And I think what this is about, that when we have a desire, we need to, we don't need to anything, but the greatest gift we can be is just by doing what we do. Whatever our desire is, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And then, as was said, when we don't give up, we can only arrive at whatever desire we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it as if you imagine your journey, Jonathan, is that you want to arrive at this specific place and you're walking on this path. And if you don't stop walking, you must arrive. I think a majority of people, they don't believe that they are able to arrive, and then they stop walking.
Or what happens also so often is then right before something, like it seems to be that the universe works with us like this, when we want something and then right before we're getting there, we'll be challenged, we'll be tested, or something happens that pushes us backwards, and then I think a lot of times people give up. These are the moments where I think it's important to keep moving forward.
Instead of testing, I would say the question is being asked, do you really want it?
Sure, universe will
And
say.
then don't believe it. You'll be like, oh, I'm never gonna arrive. We're like, yes, I do. And then suddenly already there.
Yeah, I had a good conversation last night about this on my show. So, because last night I was live with no guests, so I was just doing my regular stuff, and I was talking about the motivation of sticking with my guns and my business I want to build, and just taking a step forward every day. Just keep moving forward, and I'll get there sooner or later.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's funny that I think that the dream, the big dreams we have that take the longest. Because Corinna and I, we have not arrived exactly where we want to be, but the little things that sometimes feel so mundane, that so little, yeah, we can create them so quickly. Whereas the big, they just, I guess they're just slow. But we will keep walking.
Okay, next, as women in the music industry, have you faced any challenges that made you stop and go, "Whoa, this is tougher than I thought"?
Thank God, no. Not in the music industry.
Well, we might not be, we might not have been in that place where it became dangerous.
Well, we're also really intuitive women. So when something doesn't feel right, we don't go there.
Yeah,
We don't continue.
and that's a good way to be. If it
Listen
doesn't
to
feel
your
good,
instinct always.
go away. If it doesn't feel safe, don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing is worth feeling unsafe. I mean, a lot of people, I think, in the way that we have been taught, see money as the reason to do certain things that we just will never do. Not when it is taking away our authenticity or our safety.
Yeah.
That's part of our truth too, to
Yeah.
be truthful to ourselves, so we don't do things that are outside of our integrity. We are truthful to our souls. Interesting enough.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that serious, but
I am very serious.
that's it's about getting over a cold. I don't know if you hear that. Her voice is usually a little more clear.
What's something about being musicians that people don't realize, like a behind the scenes type of thing?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that.
I try to do the hard questions sometimes.
No, this is great. I love questions where I have to think about that.
Okay, I mean, like an actor, I can tell you one thing. Behind the scenes, I'm thinking of music video, for example, and the suffering.
Oh yeah, that's
It
something.
looks so nice. Oh, and it looks so easy. And we were freezing
In one
and
of them.
hating
One of them
how
we were
cold it
freezing
was.
terribly,
Not
and the
one,
other one we were really hot.
but I can think of two where we were really cold. Matthias und der Schuh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then
Yeah,
we,
oftentimes.
and then so it looks nice, and the end product is really nice, but the behind the scenes can sometimes really be
It feels a
difficult.
little bit like punishment.
It is like making movies where sometimes you suffer through it, and but you don't see it. I mean, obviously, if a girl plays in a bikini or whatever in the snow, she's probably suffering filming that, even if she doesn't smile.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Social media plays such a big role in connecting with fans nowadays. How do you approach it? Love it, hate it, or somewhere in between?
Well,
We do
I
it.
think the more you love it, the better off you are. I've been
And she's
struggling.
working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
It's not okay for the artist, for us as the artist who we really all we really want to do is create. It's not really the most beautiful part of it. At the same time, I personally feel like, okay, I have something to say, I want to share, and then it becomes a post. I mean, I guess that's doable, yeah. I think it's harder when you hate it so much, then it becomes a drag.
Don't say I hate it so much.
No,
I wish I generally say if I wouldn't be an artist, I wouldn't be on any platform. I am only there because I'm sharing something and I know it is helpful.
Yeah, the same is for me. If I didn't have to do it, that would be fine, I think. Or maybe I would have.
You don't have to do it, but it's
No, I do feel like I'm part of the journey right now, and it is required, and that's why I do it. I think it's like when you feel like something has to be done, we have a choice to say, "Oh my God, I have to do it," or I want to do this now, I think I'm pretty good at saying I want to do this now when I feel like it has to be done.
That's Isabel's business side because she actually grew up enjoying the idea of being a businesswoman, and I never did.
Yeah, and this is you say that so you keep saying that because I came to a point where I hated the business side, and the only reason why I did it was to please our father, who felt like this is what gives you value, and so I took on a path that made me look valuable in his eyes, realizing that's not me though. But of course, I learned good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good that both of you have your own little, one's into the business side, one's into the, entertainment side, I guess. Well, you both are entertainments, but
Yeah.
what's next for our Truth Music? Any upcoming releases or projects you can tease us about?
Tickle you.
So we wrote a musical, but we haven't really pushed it. But I like to mention it because actually I keep seeing it being filmed, and I'm really excited about it. It's a really cool story in my world. But it is one of those where, I remember thinking when I walked out of Dirty Dancing, it was such a fun energy walking out and a great song that was playing. And I remember dancing across the street, being so excited that I'm alive and that I watched a cool movie. And that's how I feel about our musical. The idea of people walking out thinking, wow, life is awesome. And yay, the song rocks. And I feel great to be alive. That's how I feel about our musical. So that's something that I'm very excited about. But as I said, we haven't really shared it. But if somebody who's listening is interested, then they should please reach out to us at ourtruthmusic.com.
What people can be excited about, there's so much that we are in the process of changing right now and looking at this a little different and planning a little different with what's going to happen because we have a lot of unrecorded songs, a raw song, if you want, and we have the musical and a lot of ideas for new videos regarding the communication part of our truth. There's a lot to look forward to, but I can't give any details right now because we are in the process of
Solidifying.
yes, getting clearer.
Yeah. I bet I can know the answer to this a little bit with you guys, but if you could collaborate with anyone, living or gone, who's at the top of your list?
Well, for me, I guess to honor the one who really helped me through my heavy teenage years, it would be Kate Bush. And she's still alive. Kate, if you're listening.
I kind of thought that would be your answer, kind of.
What is it?
I kind of thought that would be your answer.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's only fair. She did so much for me when I was seriously having a hard time as a teenager, and we were allowed to listen to loud music in our rooms, and I would just blast the music, sing along from the top of my voice, and feel good.
I guess if I had to, I don't feel, if I had to choose somebody as a musician, I probably would choose David Bowie because if you ask me who's your favorite singer, I have to mention him. And the interesting thing, it's not so much, not even because of his music so much, but I always felt a very special connection to him as a person. And maybe his expression. Some songs I really like. It's not my favorite, but one of my favorite all-time songs is from the Labyrinth soundtrack, so it is David Bowie.
That would be fun.
Oh yeah, let's mix it up. What's one totally random fact about each of you that people might not know?
My first thought was
Totally
Random.
random that people might not know. So it has to be something that we never mentioned anywhere. Um,
I'm a really good cook.
that's true.
I have never talked about that. So now you know.
Here's a super random fact. Recently, I don't seem to work well with coffee anymore. I used to not like it, and I drank tea most of my life, and then I got really into coffee, and I drink coffee all the time, and recently makes me sick every morning. And I still do it. It's weird, right? This morning I make myself like 2.5 cups, and then this morning I probably drank only 1.5 cups, and then I was like, I can't do this. It's just wrong. And I put it in my fridge to drink later. Isn't that so strange? I don't know why. I just don't let go of it. Somewhere inside of me, I still like it, I guess, but it doesn't feel right. That's random.
Yeah, I could never get into coffee. It always made me all jittery and just kind of. I couldn't. Yeah.
Good for you. I'm not even sure if coffee is good for us. I don't know. No judgment, people. Whoever loves it, please continue. Just talk about my body.
Please listen to your own voice.
Yeah, do whatever feels right.
Okay, well, if you weren't musicians, what do you think you'd be doing?
Dead.
Therapist.
Terrible.
I'd be a therapist. I already thought about that.
In this life, I can't imagine anything else, but I do. But we kind of are
Spiritual healer.
therapists.
Okay, I want to say spiritual healer because therapist is not the.
So you know what? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a vet, but I wouldn't be able to do it in this life because
Too much studying.
there was too much suffering. When I worked in the vet's office for 2 weeks, I thought after that I can't do it. But maybe as a different person, since this is the person who really only feels like it's music and communication. But if it wouldn't be this Corinna, the soul comes back, maybe I would be a vet because I do love animals. I love the idea of helping them.
I could also totally work with plants.
Oh yeah.
Any kind of gardening. 100%. Or flowers. Oh, I love flowers.
A couple more questions to close out. Where's the best place for people to check out your music and keep up with what you're doing?
OurTruthMusic.com is our website.
And on there, and I'm going to put that to the top of the list, are the links to the YouTube channels, the Instagram channels, the Facebook. That's it, right?
Those are the main ones we're using. And we have
I mean, we have Spotify also.
LinkedIn. We have that too. Not really.
I mean, they say to the musicians, we should have them all. It's good to have them all. So we haven't talked about also
Yeah,
opening up
SoundCloud
next
is
to
good
it,
too.
but it's not.
Well,
No,
I've
but if you go
followed
to our
you
website,
on
sorry,
Facebook, so I followed you on Facebook, and then I have your website saved. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the website basically you can find everything and all the links to other places. We
We use most, I must say though, Instagram. Instagram is our number one
which goes
platform.
automatically to Facebook.
Not all of it, not at all.
No.
No, my posts, my stuff. If I post a picture, it's not going to Facebook.
Mine do. But on Instagram, Isabel and I do a quick live video every Wednesday at 2:45 Pacific Standard Time, right? That's our time. 2:45 p.m. for like 5 minutes, 7 minutes tops or something, and we're really on time. We start at 2:45. We send some love and sing a song and share some whatever happy experiences or whatever. Share our love with the listener, and then we go again. But just wanted to mention that too. Everyone's come on. It's live, and then afterwards it will be posted. But we happily have you there live.
that's cool. I'll have to check out your Instagram as well then.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Finally, if you could send a message to everyone listening right now, whether they're artists chasing their dreams or just fans of great music, what would you say?
You are loved. The future is bright. Never stop believing it. And if you don't believe it, please do.
You're worthy of whatever you would like to achieve. If you want that, you can have it. You have everything you need to achieve it. Just believe it.
Yeah. See, today or tonight, my show tonight is Transformative Tuesday. So I always talk about trying to transform your life or better yourself and steps on how to do that.
Nice.
But this is the last Transformative Tuesday because next week I'm changing it to a whole different, like, uh, a trending Tuesday thing where I talk about stuff trending in the news or trending on the internet and stuff. Because last night was Motivational Monday, which is kind of the both the same thing, motivating people to, you know, better their lives and keep going on business opportunities you want to get and stuff like that. So, but you guys are closing out my Transformative Tuesdays, which is appreciated. And it can keep me going on my mission to, better my show and be better at all this stuff because I'm still wet behind the ears and nervous a lot of times when I do this stuff. But I'm
We
working
would have
on it.
never, we would have never been able to tell, Jonathan.
No, and I think you're so lovely. Please believe in yourself because I do and I see it. You can do anything you want, and follow your desires, and you will get it. Really, I say that again. Your heart is beautiful. I have that talent. Generally, I see the heart. I can only feel it since I don't really see you. But I saw you earlier, and I honestly I can feel you. I think you're beautiful, and you can have it. You can have it all.
And I want to say one more thing while we're completely interrupting you, and I apologize for that because I started out interrupting your train of thought there. If you can remember, I want to go back to the question, what's behind the scene, because I want to just say that oftentimes we had just had a show, and I was on stage thinking, oh, what's going on? And I really was in a very bad mind space. And then I watched the recording, and it was awesome. I could not tell anything. So often those internal things, they're not visible to the outside world.
That's true.
So if you hadn't said that, I feel nervous, or when we have it's possible nobody would even notice.
That's true. We always judge ourselves much harsher than others see us or judge us.
Yeah, I've always heard that from people. My wife, my mom, they'd be telling me, "You're not as bad as you think you are." The videos and all this stuff. I'm like, well, I watch it back and think I look weird, but that's okay.
Hey, but being weird is not a problem. There's nothing wrong about being weird. It only says you're authentically you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I embrace you for
Who is
that.
defining normal anyway?
Well,
But now,
like
I
I
want,
said,
remember what you wanted to say when I
go ahead.
No, I said, do you remember what you wanted to say when I interrupted? I apologize.
Not really.
I'm doing this to myself. That's
But yeah, I just
Like you see, it's hilarious.
I have my little weeknight vibes that I do, trying to get an audience, and right now I'm struggling with that, getting people watching it, because usually I get like one or two watchers at a time, and that's it. And I'm like, come on, I need to get more viewers. I need to get myself up there. So I share on Facebook, and just kind of try to advertise myself and try not to bug people too much.
Corinna and I were just listening to something on the drive there, where no, we were talking about that. They're not having to know how it's going to happen, just to trust that it will happen. That we can often, with our minds, get in the way of our own goal because we think we have to be in charge of how we get there. And I had this thought of Corinna, I'm going to fly on a plane, and we know that the pilot will bring us to our destination. And now we're just here to enjoy the ride. We're not here to fly the plane as well. That's a very freeing thought. So for your business too, if you want to see it like that, that you just do your thing, whatever comes up, and you trust that the pilot will, you're the pilot, but you're not in charge of how to get there because you're not flying the plane. You just know you'll arrive.
Yeah, that's kind of been the thinking point of mine. I know the viewers that will be for my show will show up sooner or later. It's
For
just
sure.
taking time and just continue to grow the way I've been growing and working on my show and bettering my content and all that stuff. And the people will come that are meant to see my stuff. So
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's how it feels.
And just because you have 2 or 3 views, it doesn't not has nothing to do about if you're good or not, right? You know that, I hope.
yeah,
You could be most amazing and still it's a matter of, I don't know, marketing or whatever the thing will be, but we shouldn't ever judge ourselves by the numbers, you know? This is when you do what is in your heart and you do it with the love in you because you love what you do, then you did everything right. So how the numbers look right now doesn't matter at all.
yeah.
And everything would change anyway as long as we, the artist, the creator as you are, keeps going. Exactly. Doesn't give up.
Well, I appreciate you two joining me and taking some time out of your day to talk to me and do this little interview. It's been
Right
enjoyable.
back at you, Jonathan. Thank you.
And yeah, so I will end the recording now and I'll talk to you for a few more minutes afterwards.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, in my little interview, our truth. That wraps up tonight's edition, and the very last edition, Transformative Tuesday, here on Talk Radio. Yeah, because next week, I'm going to fully pre-recorded shows and no live like this, except for like maybe special occasions, and just kind of stuff like that. So next Tuesday will be Trending Tuesday instead of Transformative Tuesday, and just talking about things trending in the world. So I think it'd be cool. But a huge thank you to Corinna and Isabelle of Our Truth for sharing their journey, their music, and their passion with us. Their story is a reminder that staying true to yourself and your vision can lead to incredible things. And I'm just trying to stay going on my journey of this show and bettering myself. So if you loved what you heard, make sure to check them out. Support their music, ourtruthmusic.com, and keep following their journey. The link to their website is in the description as well. And of course, if you enjoyed tonight's episode, don't forget to like, share, spread the word about Talk Radio. You know, I always like to support. My next guest, upcoming guest, April 4th will be Michael Allison, and then April 10th, Brown O'Landrum. Those are my last 2 guests so far. Try to work on getting some more possibly in the future, but those will be the last 2 coming up. And thank you for the interview. Well, thank you, Our Truth, for the interview. I appreciated it. I just think it's cool to interview people. I get nervous. And thank you for watching this episode. I didn't necessarily think you'd watch the episode because, it's pre-recorded. I thought you'd wait a couple days and then go find it and watch it. But I appreciate it. So, I'll be back tomorrow night with Wedgie Wednesday. Middle of the week. Wedgie Wednesday, right up the middle of the week. It's going to be a fun one, so don't miss it. So, Wedgie Wednesdays are always kind of randomness. I just talk about whatever I want and just kind of blab and just be random, because that's the fun of life, is being random. So I will close out for now. A new like from Nancy Armstrong. Thank you, my mom. My mama is so sweet to always like my videos. Moms are awesome. Every time I'm on live, she's like, "Oh, I like it. I like it." My mama's cool. I love my mama. But to all you guys watching, Our Truth, for being in my interview, I appreciated it. Take care. Stay inspired. And keep chasing your own truth. You get it? keep chasing your own truth. Because everybody has a calling in life. It's just, you got to find that calling and try to go after it. And I've always been a video freak, editing videos and putting videos together and just working with video. I've always been, always, you know? So this is kind of like my calling, I guess, my passion, making videos, creating content, and just hoping people like it, you know? So I'm going to sign out for tonight. I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. So 3 more live episodes. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So those are the last 3 lives. And starting next Monday, March 31st, it will be pre-recorded episodes. But I will still be online to chat with people as people watch it. If they want to chat, I'll be online, and I don't know if I'll be online every episode, but most of them. And I'll chat with y'all if you want to chat. So feel free to watch and chat. And just, you know, keep me in business, you know. Feel free to check out my website, crowrosesentertainment.com. I got the fundraiser thing going on. Just different things. So, you know, you can check out my links. Bunch of links in the description. My Facebook, my Instagram. I think I got my Instagram. But Discord, all the different things. So, to our truth, to all my audience people, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes coming, and have a good night. I will see you guys in 23 hours, roughly 23 hours. Much love.